Let's go to space! Well, I was going to go to space, but one RUD later, and everything, including my plans for this craft, came crashing down in the most glorious explosion ever. Let's not go to space. So next up, I decided to try to fix all that flex that I was receiving. I tried it in my stream, but I had mixed results because I was messing around with global tensors. Don't mess around with global tensors. Instead, I decided to set my joint rigidity up sky high and was able to make my craft extremely rigid and able to do, well, silly things like this to test out how rigid it was. And as you can see here, it worked fantastically. The Kerbal did die. After that, I had an underwater rave party with, well, unfortunately the Kerbal was underneath. After that, I decided to do this next challenge in not only one try. Alright, so maybe it took more than one try because this one, well, that happened. And then the second try, it was really close, but, you know, I goofed it, and then this happened. So, yeah, that didn't go so well. Tour de Four. So this is a challenge that I came up for myself to accomplish when I was over in Amsterdam, and I could not accomplish it over there. So I told myself I would come back once I had my hands on the game again, and I would do the Tour de Four. That was one, and as you come through here, you gotta dip down really quickly, and this is the hard turn, because you need to make it back under these double catwalks. Here, just skimming across the ground, I just barely was able to eke it out. Now you have to do a nice loop back because you have to go through the satellite dish. So back up and around I go, and it really does help to have front canards on this. Because those front winglets help immensely on that turn. So here we go, and we come screaming back towards the satellite dish. If you're wondering why I didn't do a past voice on this, well, that is because I was kind of, you know, trying to hold my breath at the same time as doing this because it's so close. And then I went from there. You have to loop back, believe it or not. And then you go underneath the satellite dish. And this is where it gets, once again, very touch and go. So here you go back for the last loop, and it's kind of hard to see this one. So you have to do it really quickly, swing down in, and aim it just right, and you can actually get underneath the satellite dish. My craft was just barely big enough to be able to squeeze through, and you will see it come through here, and here you go. There is your gap, and right through. Okay, so after that you just go and you land. Easy peasy, right? So I'm just gonna fast forward this so you can get to the landing. So after that, we just go through and we come in for a nice landing on fast forward mode. This is so you can see it's all done in one pass, and a successful landing completes the Tour de Four. It's not overly difficult, but it certainly is a heck of a lot of fun to do. So give it a try yourself, and post some of your videos of you doing it. So next I decided to go ahead and build a VTOL and then see if I could land it over on the VAB, just so I can have a few bragging rights saying that I did so. And it actually went really well. It just takes a little bit of balancing because we're missing our center line on our center of mass, center of pressure to get them lined up when you're looking at the side of the craft. But other than that, you know, with the new layouts that they have, it went without a hitch, a little leaning near the end, but nothing that we couldn't handle. A little bit of torque in there saved the day. After that, I decided, you know what, let's yeet ourselves off the top of this building in the craziest way possible and see if we'll survive. To which I did this. This was going to be a really nice and gentle liftoff and landing, but you see what happened was, as all great stories start with, my fuel had shifted and I didn't think to pump it anymore, so my center of mass was a little bit off. Did not take that into account. So we ended up with this crazy flip nosedive to a hover, to which my heart was once again racing, and this game does that to me all the time, but you know what? It's a good thing. It was fantastic, and I got this beautiful clip of all that happening, and then at the end I'm just kind of hovering there going, why did I try it in that fashion again? But it's okay. Sometimes the craziest ideas come together in such a fantastic way that you have to pat yourself on the shoulder and pretend like you did it all on purpose, just like I will do here, and ignore everything I said before. I totally meant to do that. So there you go, VTOL craft to the VAB and hovering over the runway. So last but not least, we actually do go to space, but I just did this to do a really big test on a large craft to orbit. So this one actually can get to orbit in the one stage. So it actually is a giant SSTO, but it is to launch a craft that should be able to make it quite far, testing out the big hydrogen engine. So this one was really designed for a deep space excursion, and I can snap other ones on there as needed to add fuel. So I'm hoping that this goes well in the future. We will see where I take it if I load the game back up and the craft is still functional. So we will see how that goes in the next video. But for now, I just want to close on out with this absolutely beautiful shot. We have this sunrise that is actually coming up, and I just kind of fast forward so we can see that, and that is absolutely stunning. What a way to end a video. This is the game on the horizon. The star is where we are going to. KSP 2 multiplayer, baby, let's go!